Absolutely, I'm gonna close my eyes. So this feels way more authentic. Is the one I wanted. Thank God. For fashion, I really think there could be something around like the practical use and actually how to like alter clothes in order to be way more accessible and way more inclusive as well, and those types of considerations sort of behind the scenes. But also I think there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of body diversity and showing and actually having more representation and showcasing very different types of bodies and how that they look in different fabrics, different clothes, and really transforming those types of stories, you know, in the real world. So
beauty. The beauty industry has historically been not just inaccessible but also not very diverse. I think starting with representation would be fantastic. We need to look at the actual product, so a lot of the mechanics around like any makeup brand or anything like that, the actual product might not be accessible. So thinking about ways to make it more tactile, more easy to use, so that anybody of any ability can interact with those products. And then 100% representation in any comms, any imagery, any marketing around it. We never really see disabled people in the makeup space, especially. So I think that is something that like just driving visibility is going to make a massive difference too.
Food. Well, I think one of the most obvious answers here is just that restaurants themselves are often hugely inaccessible, and there is this sort of inherent barrier that comes with that, in the sense that adjusting infrastructure to account for better accessibility features or ramps on stairs and that sort of thing is a difficult thing to achieve off the bat. But I think just in terms of the sort of small steps that brands and restaurants and food places can do to improve representation and appeal to audiences beyond their usual cohort, that goes a long way in terms of drawing in new crowds. And it's all about small steps.
Last card for you.
Sports. The thing with sports is actually, as a fan, sports are incredibly accessible. They often have multi-screen experiences, and you consume media in different places and in different ways depending on how you engage with the sport. Obviously, you have the physical environment, which, as a fan, those places and spaces are getting more inclusive and more accessible. One challenge has historically always been access to accessible seating. However, if you are a fan of sports where actually attending isn't a massive part of that whole community, F1, I know I talked about that before, it can be an incredibly accessible sport, and we just need brands to think about how they're tailoring their content for different communities to maximise their enjoyment and participation in that experience.